Hello and welcome. My name is Kaczmar and you are watching Geek Factor. What we are going to do today is give you a bit of a glimpse into how a simple turn plays in the game of Hunters. Now, Hunters is a game that is right now on Kickstarter going through a very successful campaign. They are currently at 200%. I'm not sure exactly when you're watching this. But the last time I checked, they were at around 200%. They still have still, again, from my point of view right now, they still have about 2.5 weeks to go. So the campaign is a success. I'm really happy for them. Congratulations to Officina Monstrorum, the publisher, and Mateusz Olbrich, the designer. And basically what they've asked me now, there is a tutorial on how to play the game available on our channel in English. Now, what I was asked by Officina to do today is to give you a taste of what the game plays like. Now, obviously, I'm not gonna give you a full gameplay video because that would take a long time. A single game a single gameplay basically can last a very long time with this game. So the idea instead is to give you like a taste, of what is involved when it comes to playing the game. What is involved in traveling between various locations and what is involved in playing through a single mission from the mission book. Now I have a bunch of stuff here with me right now. Also, I want to apologize for I want to explain this look of where I am right now. Try and pay as little attention to it as possible. I will also not use this shot too much in this video because this is actually my mother's-in-law office. So thank you, Mom, for letting me shoot this video right here. So this may not look like a very Geek Factory video, but this was the most suitable place for me to shoot this thing right for you. So what we have here, what we have set up in front of us on the table is basically just, we have the base right here with a few sample rooms. We are not going to be going into detail as far as the base is concerned. We have two characters in play. We have the huntsman and we have the soldier. Now, as far as the gameplay is concerned, the sample gameplay that I'm going to give you right now, we are this team of hunters. I am playing a solo game, which means I will be taking control of both of the characters. But for now, let's concentrate on what we have right here. We have two locations set up. We have one location in zone 1 and another location in zone 2. Now, in each of the locations, we have a few places, and we begin the game in a place at one of the locations and one of the location in zone 2. So I think that pretty much covers it. I have some additional cards over here that we're going to be using. So this obviously does not cover everything you can find in the box. It's not every component you have in the game set up. This is just like a closed. There are some other stuff that are set aside from the view of the camera, like action cards and other stuff that you will see during this short video. I hope it's short. This game, like I said, it invites itself to making long gameplay videos. So I hope this one is short. Right, so without further ado, let's begin. Our team of hunters right now, let's take this off. So we begin in location here at a place called the parking lot 420. Now, because we entered this place and we see that there are two cards on top of this place, we have to resolve them immediately. So we take the first one and we try and resolve them. Now, generally speaking, our goal here is to find the place the person, our friend, who will help us decipher a certain code that we need deciphered. So we're taking those cards because we entered these locations. Whenever the cards are on top, we have to resolve them immediately. If they were underneath the card, we would have the choice whether we want to resolve them or not. But because they were placed on top, we have to resolve them. Now 024A and 024B, so let's take a look. Okay, Recon Base. What it says here is, when you approach the house where Recon Base, your old friend, lived recently, you see from afar that something is not right. All windows are boarded up with sturdy wooden planks or welded shut with sheets of steel, and the building itself looks like it's recently been through hell and back. You come closer cautiously and call the landlord's name from a safe distance. A moment later, you hear a muffled shout from behind the reinforced door. "Who are you and what do you want?" You explain yourselves, feeling as if you were being interrogated. Finally, Recon allows one of you inside. But first of all, you must lay your arms. After a standard exchange of pleasantries, Recon tells you why he has been so paranoid. It turns out he recently treaded on some mean guy's toes, and they've been visiting him regularly since. When you finally get to your business, Recon carefully checks this slip of paper. You can immediately tell that he's been missing interesting challenges from the good old days. He can barely contain the excitement. He says he will attempt to break the code, but it's simpler said than done. So he needs a few days for it. Okay, so whatever we're gonna do, it's gonna take some extra time that we did not anticipate. So this might be interesting. In exchange, he asks you for a small favor. He wants you to seriously intimidate his current tormentors. In his opinion, once they see such a well-equipped crew as yours, they will surely leave him be. Yes, that doesn't sound like something we want to get involved with, but hey, what the hell. So, place face down on this location card 025. So we have card 025, as well as the time marker that says 25 on it, and this marker right here. Place on the time track 4 days ahead another marker with the number 025. So this will basically remind us that we need to take care of this once we reach this time marker. Now, as you can see, right now we are on day 16. So 4 days from now, that will be day 20. So this is where we place this marker. Okay, let's take a look at close. Let's make sure it's nice and tidy over here. What else? Set up place card 425. 425, this should be somewhere here. There we go. 425, what is this? This is Christopher's Pub. Oh, we can get something done here. We can exchange some knives and an axe, a frag grenade, an additional magazine, and night vision goggles for some fuel cells. Or buy one of those for some fuel cells. Now, this looks like a cool place and definitely a safe place to be, right? Just kidding. So we're setting up this card and place face down. Now this is underneath it, but I'm pretty sure it should say on top of it. So I'm going to place it on top of it, card 026. We have 026A and 026B. So we set it up on top of this card. And this icon tells me that after I'm done with this, we are good to go. We can discard both of those cards. So we can remove them from the game for now. Okay, so I guess we have no other choice but to actually go to that location and see for ourselves what's happening there. So let's go, because we do need to break this code. So we're gonna have to do what our friend asked us to do. Now, because those cards are on top, we have to resolve them immediately. But first we have to roll the die to see if we have to resolve any cards. Now, we do not have to move the time marker because we are moving in between places within a single location. But because we are making that move, we still need to throw and see if we have to resolve any place cards. So we're making the roll. 5. We rolled a 5, so it's good. We don't have to resolve any other cards. Now, let's take a look at those cards. Those are on top, so we have to resolve them. This is why I'm pretty sure they had to be on top and there was a mistake on that card. Now, okay, let's see what it says. You follow Recon's directions and get to a seedy dive called Christopher's. Now, how can it be seedy if it's called Christopher's? Now, if I wanted to build or open a seedy location or a seedy bar, I would never call it Christopher's. Well, that's just me. It's where a gang of petty robbers usually stays. They consider the closest districts their turf. These guys have been harassing your friend for a couple of weeks. The interior is in no way surprising. It is as if they made those dirty joints in some factory. Dozens of such places spring up around the ever-growing outskirts. At the counter you can see the boss of the gang, a tall, heavy-built thug wearing a leather jacket. His fierce-looking face is badly deformed, maybe an accident from his childhood. He starts sullenly staring at you the moment you enter. Now we have a few options. Okay, now A. One of you starts... Am I right? Yes, we have two options at least. Okay, so option A. One of you starts a conversation. You happen to know Recon Base. He's been complaining recently that you're treating him badly. Actually, he's a good pal of ours. He works for us and is under our protection. We could pretend that last events never happened, and in exchange you will never visit him again. Okay, that's a bit aggressive, but maybe that's the way to go. B. You get straight to business without any introductions. Each of you grabs one of the gangers, then places a blade against his throat or a gun against his head. We take over this district. You have 2 days to leave the town. If we see even one of you somewhere here after the time, he's as good as dead, and he'll suffer before he kicks the bucket. Then, just to underline that you mean what you have just said, you shoot a few bottles placed behind the counter and smash a few tables. Finally, you leave. And we would have to pick one of the 3 cards. Number 28 do we have? Yes, of course, we have 3 cards number 28, and we would, if we choose this option, we would have to go and resolve this. If any of you has 3 or more charm, we can perform this. We can instead go for this option. So this is basically, we have 3 options. We have this one, which is trying to intimidate him through some tough dialogue. We have this one, which is where we get straight down to brass tacks and we just decide to kick some ass. And then we have the third one, but the third one, unfortunately, is unattainable for us because neither of the characters we have, which is the huntsman and the soldier, have level 3 charm. So the only option we have really is the A or B. Now I am not an aggressive person, and I mean that in every meaning of the word. So I also try to be that way in the games we play, unless those games are inherently aggressive, then obviously I adapt. But if I don't have to, I try to avoid conflict. It's a good rule in games and in life. Nah, just kidding, it's unrealistic in life. Anyway, so I'm gonna go for the option A. So we're gonna go to the card 027. Let's set aside those 2 for now. And, okay, another 2 options, okay. A good pal of yours, you say, says the one with the mangled face. If you're such good pals, maybe you'll just pay for his safety. It's gonna cost, say, 10 fuel cells by tomorrow night. And your friend will be left in peace for a couple of months. So 10 fuel cells for a couple of months. And we have 2 options. Okay. A. We must have misunderstood each other, answers one of you, and deep inside you feel that the patrons of this dive are nervously reaching for their guns. If you want to rule your petty kingdom any longer, our friend must stay perfectly safe. The mangled one's guffaw is the only answer and slaughter begins. So basically we fight. Resolve scenario Q11. B. You accept the offer. Leave this card face up when you obtain the fuel cells, return and take this number 2 token. Okay, so what do we do? I still don't want to get aggressive and violent. Let us think for a second. I gotta say, I'm a bit curious what would have happened if we actually went for intimidating the gang. As you can remember, we had that option of just picking one of the 3 number 28 cards. Let's just see. I know we're not supposed to do that. We're not supposed to cheat and go back, but let's just, pick one card from 028 just to see what would happen. You walk slowly back towards the dive's entrance, hoping that you were persuasive enough not to get shot from behind. The distance is growing, 5 meters, 10, 50. You wipe the sweat off your brows, but nothing happens. Lucky you. It looks like you've managed to successfully intimidate the gang. Take this, which is something we'll need to break the code. Well, apparently one of the options was that we would be able to walk away freely, but since we did not go for that, we need to pick something else and we need to try to obtain those 10 fuel cells. So we're gonna have to buy our friend's safety, And how do we go about that? So okay, so now we have to go and see where can we find those 10 fuel cells that we have that we need. So okay, right here we have a few potential jobs we can do, and obviously jobs can pay, and if jobs pay us fuel cells and those fuel cells come in the number of 10, then we're good to go. So let's try and do that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move the marker here. Now because we are moving between places, we do need to make the dice roll. And that's a 1. Yes, this is a Munchkin dice. Sorry, the prototype I have did not have a dice included, so I had to borrow one, and I borrowed the Munchkin dice. So yeah, this is 1, which means we have to resolve a card, a city card, and we draw one. And let's see what we have right here. It's called Blinks, so that sounds cool. The street around you is strangely empty. It's been a few minutes since you last saw any passers-by or street peddlers. You begin to look nervously around when suddenly, as if from nowhere, a youngster with a nasty scar on his cheek appears in front of you. "Blinks! I'm collecting blinks for my pal," he says in a croaking voice. I don't know if that was a croaking voice. "Give me 2 and you can go." A. You agree. B. "Hey sport, look for something better to do." You pass the boy with your hands close to your weapons. C. You offer to give away 1 blink for all of you. D. You attack the boy. E. Choose this option only if you have the marker Paul's friend. Okay, we don't have any marker Paul's friend, so we're not gonna do that. Like I said, I do want to avoid fighting, okay? Right now, I will want to show you how fighting looks in this game, but I want to save that for later on. So I'm not gonna attack the boy. He's a boy, but besides, why would I attack a boy? So you offer to give away 1 blink for all of you. We're not giving away any blinks, and we're not agreeing. So I guess the option B is the most relevant. Is the only one that makes any sense for me right now. So I pick option B. I turn over the card. Option B, the boy look at... Oh, I don't know, this side is not translated, so I'm just going to translate it for you. The boy is looking after you with a dim, dark gaze, but he's not responding. "I'll remember you. We will meet again," he shouts from a distance while he's walking away. So, yeah. Basically, I don't know if you have this saying in English, I guess you do, which is his bark was worse than his bite. Well, luckily for us, nothing really happened, which means we are in this location. We can move away. We can take the die away for now. I'll move this away for now as well. And now we have 2 cards underneath. Now we can pick which one of those we want to resolve. So after that, let's take those cards into our hand and see what we have here. 2 jobs. Let's see which ones we want. So, night predators. On the outskirts of New Jensen, maybe miles away from the western border of the town, taking the route to Tree Haven, all animals were slaughtered. I pay 1 junk crate and 7 fuel cells for detecting and getting rid of the intruder. So that comes from Mark Harmon. Mark Harmon, by the way, is an actor known for playing a role in the TV show NCIS. I wonder if the creators of the game knew that, and is this like a nod to the show? I haven't seen the show, but I hear the show has a lot of fans. So another one. Grenades and a crate of fuel cells to any mercenary bold enough to destroy the machine harassing our oil plant. I'm waiting around the southern outskirts of New Jensen. The plant's called Paradise Lost. Now this is by a Jimmy Raton, and this reward gives us a frag grenade and 10 fuel cells. Okay. Right, now, so this doesn't give us what we need. This gives us what we need, potentially. So we're gonna go for that. We're not doing this job. This is an unnecessary job that we do not want. So we can leave this card face up or discard after reading. So yeah, we're gonna discard this card. We're gonna focus on that. because we want those fuel cells. So this is what we have to do. I feel like we're getting closer to playing through a mission from the mission book, which is where you'll see the board and everything else set up. And so yeah, let's go to 4:15. 4:15 and right, where do we do 4:15? Oh, there we go. 4:15. And this is a different location, right? So it's technically should be here, but I'm placing it here so you can get a better view. And on top of it, we have to place card 507. So going there means we'll have to probably resolve that. So obviously this is what we're doing now. Because we are traveling to a different location, we need to move the time marker by 1 spot. Also, we are making a dice roll to see if we have to resolve any road cards. The result is 4. We are not resolving any road cards. So now we are moving to 4:15 and we are taking a look at the card 507. Wait, sorry. Now, after a taxing march, you chance upon an area that looks like a genuine haven of peace and civility, and amid a region of desolation. Neat rows of steel containers, the height of a human, take a dozen or so acres of land. All are connected by a complex system of cables and water pipes. Everything is surrounded with a tall electrified fence. On one side you can see a huge hole in the fence and a few broken containers. You are greeted from afar by a pair of men repairing the damage. Greetings, strangers, you're probably here because of our ad. We had a couple of peaceful weeks, but as you can see, yesterday some machine caused trouble again. We produce here a very valuable oil, a rare commodity in the Badlands. It seems the machine felt like tasting it, or maybe someone programmed it to attack us. Who knows what's inside a robot's head? If you have some gas to spare, I can show you the machine's lair. We followed its tracks and they led us there. We could get there by sunset so that you may lay an ambush. Otherwise you will have to walk all the way, and I guess you will reach the place in the middle of the night. You want the man to help you and resolve Q03. You walk there by yourselves. Resolve Q04. So I guess we can't really spend fuel cells because fuel cells are what we need. So I guess we're gonna go for the Q04, the hardest routes. So first, let's make sure we've got some good equipment. Now, as you can see, I've got the Huntsman right here. So this is Q04. This is what we're gonna set up in a second. Now, first I can see that we have what it says here. After a few hours of march, we decided the idea of using the helper's help, or the guy's help, was not a bad idea. Finally, we find the place. Now, unfortunately, it's dark outside. This is the night, so I feel like this right here, telescopic sight, is not going to be of much use for us. So instead, we're gonna replace it with the night vision. Yes, and now we can use this. Put this in the backpack, because this one has the sun symbol, which means that it's used during the day. This one has the moon symbol, which means it can be used during the night. So now let's set up this scenario. So this is how the setup mission looks. Now we have every rule we need, like special rules for this scenario right here. Now this is where we decided to place our characters, right? We have the soldier, we have the huntsman. Now each of the characters comes with a prepared deck of 25 cards. Now each character takes 5 cards into their hand as their starting hand at the beginning of the turn. That's how every turn must begin, every mission must begin. Now I apologize for the reflection you see here. It's just that we are right underneath the light that I use for shooting our videos. So this is why the reflection is so strong, because we are right next to the lamp. Now, unfortunately, with a game of this size, we had to be close to the light to make sure it's lit up very nicely. Now, This is the machine, the evil machine that we have to destroy to complete this scenario. These are explosives. Now the way I know these are explosives is because of this icon right here. So this is where we are going to place them. Now what we have right here is the route of the machine, because this machine is basically on a walk. It's going around just taking a stroll, waiting for something interesting to happen. Well, something interesting is about to happen. So what is going on is every turn until we reach this, this tile, every turn this machine is going to move one area, one space around the designated route that we see right here. So now what we have to do is we kind of have to just, well, we basically just have to make sure we get into the best position, because we are not going to go into we're not going to play through the whole mission because that might take too long, but I am going to give you a few sample turns. Now, this mission is quite simple, right? The objective is quite simple. We need to destroy this little machine, this evil machine, I meant to say, not little. And well, the way we're going to do that is basically by trying to attack it. We are going to try to support each other through doing that. Now here what we have is the number of injuries it must sustain in order to be considered destroyed. These are all the stats we might need for the machine throughout the game, throughout the turn. And right, we have our 5 cards for the soldier, no, sorry, for the huntsman, and our 5 cards for the soldier. Oh, sorry, those are 4 cards. Oh, yeah, 5. Okay, so I think that's pretty much all you need to know right now. Okay, it is night, so the marksmanship, the visibility, they are reduced by 1, but for the huntsman that doesn't mean much because he actually has the night vision, which increases those by 1, so it basically evens itself out. Well, poor soldier is unfortunately still that he doesn't have any night vision, so whenever he's gonna try and attempt something like a long distance attack, well, he will have to consider the -1 adjustment. So let's begin the turn. First, every turn what we do is we check for any outstanding effects. Now there are none, so we can ignore that. So now it's the character's turn. Let's begin with the soldier. Let's see what the soldier can do. Now I see some interesting stuff right here. These are the action cards that we're going to use. Now, I do have movement by 2 spaces, but I don't want to waste that card right now. It might come in handy later on, so I think I'm just gonna... Yeah, I think I'm actually just gonna discard one of the cards and use it to move my character 1 spot as the simple... as the basic action. Now the second action, actually I'm gonna pass. For now I think I'm gonna pass, so let's leave it right here. Now the huntsman is the huntsman turn. What he's gonna do is he is going to do the same thing basically for now. So let's just move him by 1 spot. And that's it. So now it's the end of the turn. Now this was a very simple turn, right? We want to get in a good position in order to fight this machine. So, and I have a plan. I actually have a cool plan, but I need the machine to get to this area. Now what's gonna happen is we finish the turn. So each of our characters refills their hand to 5 cards, and this is the discarded card. So let's leave it to the side. The same with this one. So we have 4, we get the 5 cards, so we have 5 cards in our hand. Now, turn passed, so the machine moves 1 movement, 1 space toward by the route. Okay, so the plan I had for this was for the machine to get to this side. So let's say we moved further along. Now during this next turn we discarded 1 card, let's say this one, and we refilled the hand, and so now we have this situation, 5 cards each. Okay, these characters are right here, and now the machine entered the barrels area. So now what's going to happen is the huntsman is going to make an attempt to attack that area right here, and by the area I mean those barrels. Why? Because of the icon that says explosives. Now explosives means that if we hit it, if we are able to hit that target, then this machine will get 5 injuries, will sustain 5 injuries, which would get, well, potentially, right, if everything goes according to plan, if we have enough luck, we can make the machine sustain 5 injuries, which would bring us more than halfway towards the end of the scenario, towards completing the mission. So let's begin. So now the huntsman is going to perform the attack. Now in order to do that, he's going to have to get rid of one of the cards. So we're going to use this card. It says at a distance attack, long distance attack. The complexity is 2, so let's leave it right here for now. Now let's see if this is in range. Now we're going to use the rifle. So the rifle has maximum range 3, which brings us 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're good. Now is this within eyesight? Is it within our visibility? So we have to see if there is a straight line that goes from our space to this space with the obstacle, because even though this is not a machine, these are barrels, you still attack it as if you would attack any other target. So is there a straight line that goes from me to the target and does not meet any obstacles in the middle? It does not, so we're good to go. We can make an attempt. Now, because this is range 3, we are using our rifle, like I said, okay? So the complexity is 2, but right here we can see that at range 3, we only use 2 dice, and the complexity is reduced by 1. That's not very good. That means that we are gonna have the complexity 1 instead of 2. But let's say that our soldier friend is really helpful and he decides to play a reaction card. Now, reaction card can be played during another player's or another model's, your enemy's basically, turn. And it says any character within one space range, receives +1 dice during their action. So we discard this card, and this guy, Huntsman, receives an additional dice. So we go from 2 dice to 3 dice, and the complexity is still 1. So this is not very hopeful. We need to basically hit 1. This is the 1. Remember, this is the Munchkin die. To hit 1 on at least one of the 3 hits, because if we hit this thing once, this will get a chance. This will receive 5 injuries. Now it will be able to protect itself against the injuries, but well, still, it's a good option. So, okay, let us roll the die. Roll the first die. It's 6. Second die. It's 1. It's a hit. Perfect. So we hit the barrels, and now the machine is gonna defend against the attack. Okay, so the potential to hit the machine is 5 injuries. So let's just take 5. It's easy for me. This is what I always do in the games like this. I always take simply the injury tokens, and I'll just keep them here for now in order to make it easier for me with the bookkeeping. Now, let's just say, so this is the defense value that we have to use. We have 3 dice, so the machine will get a chance to defend itself 3 times against the injuries it might sustain from our attack. So 3, so 2 of them at least will be a success. We know that. Now the other, every time we hit 1, 2, or 3 on the die, it removes one of the injuries. So defense roll 1. Well, that's a 3, so that was a bad roll, but still. Okay, one of the injuries is removed. Oh crap, I gotta roll the die better. And it's, so 3 injuries were removed, but 2 are kept. So let's take one of those tokens to make it easier. So, okay, so we made the attack and the machine was able to defend itself. So now that was the Huntsman turn. No, the Huntsman played only 1 turn. on one action. He still has another action to go. So actually, let's do this. Let's perform another distance attack. Now this one has complexity 3. Now we get rid of this card because we played it. So, okay, complexity 3. Now, let's see if the soldier can help us. Yes, he does have another copy of this card that allows him to support a friend with an extra die. So now, still, the range is 3. We are using the rifle again. So the range is 3. The complexity is 3 minus 1, which means we have the complexity at 2, which is not as bad as previously when we had the complexity at 1. And we have 3 dice. Okay, so 3 dice, complexity 2, I think it's doable. So, nope, that's a miss. 1, that's a hit, so we have 1 hit, 1 miss. Let's go for the third one. And another 1, so we got 2 hits, 2 potential hits. 2 potential injuries that we can give to the machine. Now the machine gets a chance to defend itself. Now this time it is protecting itself. Oh, by the way, the barrels were exploded, so now it just remains an obstacle on the... So for example, it will block line of sight for any future turns. So now the machine is basically under fire from the side. So take a look at its defense values. Now from the side is the middle value right here. So that's 3. 3 dice. Now remember, every 1, 2, or 3 removes 1 potential injury. Defends against 1 potential injury. So first die, not defended. Second, now let's roll it properly. Second die, defended. And the third die, that machine is very good at defending itself. So that was basically the huntsman turn. Now let's see if the soldier can do anything interesting. Now this one is cool. This one has this is a long distance attack, but has a complexity of 4. But that's minus 1 die, and now the soldier is not equipped with. Remove this one. Sorry. The soldier is not equipped with anything that is very useful right now because all he has is a pistol. Now he needs to be at range 2, and he will only have 2 dice then. So that's not very that's not a very cool. That's not a very cool way to go. So let's instead move 2 spaces. So I want to basically get the soldier to perform a melee attack. So in order to do this, we need to move by 1 space, an additional space. So I'll remove this card to make a regular action, to perform a basic action, a movement by one space, and I finish on the same space as the machine. So let's see what happens then, because now it's the machine's turn. Now the machine's turn, whenever it is in direct contact with a character, it jumps away. Now what happens when you jump away? So it is jumping away, and it is performing a distance attack minus 2 complexity. Okay. This is a very complicated attack. So, oh, by the way, it has a repair system. At the beginning of every turn, it regains 1. It regains 1 health, which means those 2 injuries go down to 1. Oh my god, this is gonna take a while during the proper game. Okay, so let's perform another turn. Okay, so it jumps away. Let's say it jumps away right here. And now it has it in a clear line of sight. And what's gonna happen is minus 2 complexity. And distance attack right here. It's at range 1. So that's 6 dice. Minus 2, so the complexity is, and it's not 4, it's 2, because it says right here complexity minus 2. Complexity is 4 at range 1. This is obviously a range 1 attack, but because we have minus 2 right here, so the actual complexity is 2. But still, it has 6 dice. Why did I do that? It's kind of feels like I sent this guy on a suicide mission. But still, let's try and make it happen. 6 die. And we need 2 or lower to hit. Miss, 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 and final roll. Ah, it hit. A potential hit for our soldier. So let's keep it here. And now let our soldier defend himself. Now what has he to defend himself with? He's got this. So this is a side, this is a front attack, right? So, but no, it's actually got this, because this one has the attack right here has this icon, which means we have to use this defense value. So still, it's basically the same. It's 1 die, and 1, 2, or 3 removes any damage. Thank you. Wow, he was really lucky. 6 dice against 1 die, and he actually survived. And he didn't sustain any injuries. That's actually very, very lucky. I am really happy with the way this game is going so far. Now, because the robots perform the jump away action, I still get to retaliate by perform a melee attack with the the character that basically is jumped away from with the highest number of melee attack dice gets to perform a melee attack. Now I'm the only character that shared the same space with the robot, so I get to be the one to perform the melee attack. Now the value is this value right here +2, which means it's basically 4. I get to roll 4 die as a melee attack. Now the complexity is 3, so that's a very simple, that's a very easy melee attack. So the complexity is 3 for any melee attack that is the result of a jump away action, right? So normally the complexity would be right here +1, for example, okay? So if I were to perform a melee attack by playing an action card like this one, the complexity would be 2 + 1, that would be 3. But the melee attack that is the result of a jump away action is a special kind of melee attack, and in that melee attack the complexity is always 3. So I think it's doable. I got like what, 4 dice and complexity 3, so that's pretty cool. Let's go. Oh, let's roll properly. 1, okay. Okay, remember every roll with the result equal to complexity or lower is a hit. Okay, 3, nothing, and 4. 2, nice, 3 potential hits. Now the machine will defend itself, obviously, against melee attacks. So let's see. Melee attack defense is at 3. So 3 dice, 1, 2, or 3 defense. 1, ah, crap. 2, crap. And 3. Okay, so 1 hit went through. So those 2 hits with the one from the previous turn. Because it healed itself. Okay, so now we move on to the next round. The next round begins checking for the outstanding effects, but this mission will not have any outstanding effects. So for now, let's basically perform another turn. Now remember, each character fills out their hand to make sure they have 5 cards in their hand. This soldier really used a lot of cards this turn, so let's make sure. Let's make this the final round. So, okay, so first we take the Huntsman. Okay, I'll go with this one. Movement, 3 spaces. So 1, 2, 3. And now a long distance attack, complexity 3. Now this is going to be fun because actually I'm going to use the, there we go, the rifle, and this is at range 1. So we have complexity +1. So that gives us the complexity of 4. That's a very good, those odds are good. I like those odds. Also at range 1 we have 4 dice. Now, hey, does the soldier has any way to support? Nope, no reaction cards to support his friend. Maybe he has some reaction cards. No. Okay, so the second action, long distance attack, complexity 4, and we have 4 dice. So I'm feeling pretty good about this one. 3, a hit. 6, nothing. 6, oh come on. Okay, so that's 1 potential hit. Oh, this didn't go our way. Now we are attacking from the front, so what's gonna happen is the creature will get to defend with from the front 4 dice. Okay, so 4 dice, 1, 2, or 3 defense. 1, 2. Ah, crap. Oh man, that was a really good shot we had, but unfortunately we wasted it. So the machine wins. Well, wins. The machine did not get hit. So it's the soldier's turn. Let's hope he has a better shot. Okay, movement and attack, complexity 2. So he is moving here, and he is attacking with the machete, and that machete gives us 4 dice, and the complexity is adjusted by +1. So we've got complexity 3, 4 dice. Let's go for it. Nice. Second dice. Nice. Third dice. Cool. Fourth dice. Come on. Yes! All 4 went through. So all 4 are potential hits. Now the machine will defend. 3 dice. Come on. Not defended. Didn't do anything. Every single one of those 4 hits went through. That's a good... Oh, that was a good round for me. So that gives us at 6. Is there any way we can try and finish this off? Let's do melee attack again. That's 2. 2 again with the machete. So we have 4 dice, the complexity 3. Come on. 6, nothing. 3, 1 hit. Come on. Oh, nothing. 3, 1 hit. 4, nothing. Okay, so 2 potential hits. 3 dice defending. Defended. Ah. So still not a bad turn, but now the machine begins its turn, remember, by removing 1 injury. So now at the end, now it's gonna play its turn, and it's at 5 with 5. We have it with 5 injuries. So still quite a way to go to get it to number 9 to kill it. Now the way it would do, we would see what happens is in various scenarios. For example, if it was separated, if it was in the same area as the soldier, it would try to jump away. If it's a distance higher than 1, a distance equal to 1, and so on and so forth. Right. Okay, so I would say this whole thing went pretty well so far, and I think that gives you a good idea of what the game plays like. Now, I did not follow all the rules to the T. I mean, I was performing the turn by the machine, and it was supposed to perform 2 actions. I only performed once. But the idea is this is a simple scenario, right? This whole book is full of all different kinds of scenarios with different rules, different ways to win them. Now this is fairly simple because the objective is fairly simple, right? Destroy the machine. And I'd say so far we've got 5 injuries for the we hit the machine 5 times. It's got 5 wounds, and we are still looking very good when it comes to our health. So I would say our chances of destroying this machine were pretty good. So we would probably win this scenario and receive the award. We would be able to go back to the bar, pay the guys who wanted so that we could protect our friend, and the friend would be able to decipher the code. Now that's the way this would have played. So I think this video gave you a good idea of what it's like to play through different event cards going from location to location, and the way it looks and how it looks to play through a single scenario, albeit a fairly simple one, not a very complex one. So I hope that's it. I hope the video did give you an idea. Now, if you have any questions, if you have any doubts, please do not hesitate to post them in the comments below, and I will respond to that as soon as I can. I'll also ask the publisher and the designer to weigh in every now and then to make sure that all your questions are answered and all your doubts are raised. So thank you for watching. Thank you Office Demonstratum for hiring me to play with this game a little bit more, and I hope this video helps. So thank you very much. This was Kaczmar from Geek Factor, and I hope I see you soon. Bye bye.